Alright guys, here we go with the Kang boss. Did not get solo on this guy, but this was my best run, nice and itemless. Very simple idea is that he's got a little charge under his name, and what you've got to do is you have to do whatever whatever the prompt is in terms of your special attack. It's a 1, throw a special 1. If it's 2, throw a special 2, or have that amount of power when that timer expires. So if it's a 0, when it expires, you have to have 0 power on you. Easier said than done. And then each phase throughout the fight, you need more and more charges to get him into his wounded phase. So I think it's only like 3 in the first, maybe 4 or 5 in the second, and like 6 in the last one. So there he gets time collapse or wounded phase, and you can get a whole bunch of damage in. As you go through the paths, each path takes off like a different node. So each fight is slightly different. Sometimes you gain more power faster, but he has more attack. And there are 2 paths in particular that have the paradox charges, where you need a specific group of 3. So one time it was like, skill, science, and cosmic, and you needed to have at least like 4 paradox charges on your champion when you fight Kang, or you're going to do no damage. So you need a specific class, and you need to have some of the paradox charges that you kind of gain throughout the path. So you almost want to have a few options. Like you can't really bring someone in at the end and do any damage on those paths. You need to have somebody who has the paradox charges as you go up. So maybe do one fight, like plan out maybe one of the fight per champion that you choose for the most part, and then make sure that if you're going to be using them for Kang, you're going to want to have some paradox charges. Now, if you can get them with like 7 or 8 paradox charges when you do those ones, then it actually benefits you because you're going to gain a ton of furies for that fight, and it'll actually make your Kang fight easier, but you need to be prepared. And if you're not prepared for that, you could find yourself in a roadblock. So that's the only thing here. This was still a good first run with Doom. I got clipped a whole bunch of times, but you can see I'm just trying his best. You just need to be able to, when you evade his special 1, you gain power. If you don't evade it fully, like there we go, I need, I want, if you want power, you go ahead and you evade it, you gain power. If you don't want power, you block it, it'll take away power. So in theory, you could evade it twice, block the third, and kind of control your power. So if you ever see the guys putting out these boss solos, they've got great control of the evades on the specials, and that's the big difference. Now, if you get to the end, like right there, I got a nice full evade. I needed a special 3. I got a special 3. So that was about as perfect as I can do it there. But these guys have perfect mastery of the special. And you'll see sometimes I'm getting it really nicely. Got into a nice groove with Doom here. And then when I blow it and I go into, and I use, so there, that was a perfect. I got it to the third one, block the last hit, get to special 2. So that's, I kind of did exactly what I had been learning as I did this fight. And when he gets to his wounded phase, I'm just putting in as much damage as possible. So there, this phase is done, and I think I just screw it up in between his phases. He gets that red-orange bar there, and he came into me, and I kind of blew it there. But I could have kept going. That was, that was kind of annoying. I bring in Hercules here, and I don't get nearly as much of a good run as I did with Doom here, but because Hercules has that invulnerability at at the end, I kind of made up for it. So there I got 2 charges easy because I waited till 0, then built up to a special 1, so got 2 quickly. And here I wasn't getting nearly as many nice evades as I did with Doom, and I start kind of losing my groove here a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it's not so bad. I think I get a bunch of damage in with Hercules, even though I kind of blow it, because if you don't have the right prompt at the right time, you take a whole bunch of damage, and you can die super easily if you don't have if you're not prepared for the prompt that's coming. I believe you can also slow down his timer by throwing a heavy attack. So if you're trying to push him to a special one, but you find you can't do it, you can go ahead and you can do like he's got limber, so you're limited in your heavy attacks, but you can kind of save your heavy attacks to parry and heavy him when you need it. So you can see here I kind of got clipped there. I'm trying to build to a special 2. There we get it. And now I'm going to have to try and build to a special 3. So I do the heavy attack there to kind of slow the his timer down. And there, you see I did not get a clean evade there. I was just really hoping for another evade. I tried again, and again I don't get a clean evade on the third one, and I get power drained. And because of that, I'm gonna blow it. I'm not gonna be able to get to this special 3, but because the next one's a special 1, and it's gonna be my I think it's gonna be my 6th charge. I am gonna get him down here. So I'm gonna throw the special 1. And I am going to get him into the wounded phase. And then I'm just going to do a ton of damage here and actually push him right into his final phase. And in the final phase, it's just a race to a special 3 and drop a special 3, or you can out-damage him kind of beforehand. Here, I screw this up, and I have to bring in Claire to finish it off. But it's some paths it's a little easier, some paths it's a little bit harder. But it's the same idea throughout the entire fight. So I hope this helps out a little bit. If you have any questions, you can always put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer and try and help out. But this is it. We got all the boss fights in for Act 7.3. There's a whole playlist of them, so feel free to check it out. And I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.